All right, we are at EHS Racing. This is a whole bunch of Grizzly 700 parts. This video will cover years 2016 to 2018 and 2019 to current. It's going to be two different motor packages, but they take both really the same parts for both years. Okay, I'm going to start and I'll start explaining the differences between everything as we go. This is Eric from EHS, so you know who's yapping in the background. Alright, we'll start with the easy one, the airbox lid. This is our complete airbox lid. This will fit 2016 all the way to, it is now 23. And I think 24 just got released and there is no changes on that as I know. This is the complete lid edition. You can get it in two forms. There's a kit form and a complete form. Kit form is going to be the aluminum plate, the hardware, and the filter. It's everything to modify your own airbox cover. The complete form is going to be just like you'll see in the picture here. The work is already done on a new lid we buy from Yamaha. It shows up just like this. Okay, next let's go to the air filter options. Okay, so the 16 to 18, that's the 708 motor. Okay, they have essentially the same airbox design. It's a little bit different on the intake tube. The intake tube on those is going to look like this. There's no sensor here. The sensor was in the airbox. So when you're buying in this package, in the years, you got to make sure you select the right year. This video is going to cover both scenarios. This is the 19 and newer airbox intake tube. The intake sensor is in the tube. Okay, the lower boxes are the same from Yamaha. They have the casting in here. Even when you buy them new for 19, it's just not drilled. When you buy them, you just have to drill out for the sensor and slide that in. It's a 1/4 inch hole and you set it up. So when you see it here, this is the complete airbox lower. Okay, it's available with a K&N filter or a uni filter. In complete form, it will come like this. It is pre-installed, ready to assemble. Okay, the rubber tube is pre-cut. The aluminum adapter is pre-installed into the lower. You will need to put some of your factory parts back on, like the hose clamp and the sensor, you know, and the bolts on the side. But all the work and the cutting that is done is already done, and the Yamaha parts are provided. Okay, this is the kit form for the air filter. That is available in either K&N or Uni. This is a close-up of the aluminum adapter itself. Okay, this is the side that the aluminum, or the rubber tube right here, or this tube, it has a smaller tube that's inside this channel. Let's see if we can see it. It's kind of dark in there, I guess you can't see it. But that rubber tube is going to slide over top of this, so there's no way for that to leak. And then the clamp, or the air filter, is going to clamp on this section right here. So this piece is going to permanently install in your airbox, and it creates a positive seal, so there's no place for anything to leak. So on the package builder, for each year you have 4 different forms. You can get it in a uni kit, so that's you're going to install it into your own airbox assembly, a K&N kit, a K&N complete for your year machine, and a uni complete. Okay, the 16 to 18 and the 19 will be two different package builders, so you won't have to worry about that. But this video will cover both of those. Alright, and if you're reading the instructions, the only difference in the instructions is where you cut the intake tube. This 16 to 18 intake tube ends up hanging way down here. So you have to cut a lot of it off to actually get it to sit where you're going to have it hook up right here. In 19 they shortened it. That tube's only about that long to start with, so you only got to cut roughly a ½ inch off of that one. Alright, so then we got our tuner. This is totally tunable by you, the end user, for any of these scenarios which we have laid out in the installation instructions. But if you purchase this tuner in this package builder, we will preset it for any of these parts that you purchase at that time. So if you buy it with just the air filter and the tuner and the airbox lid, we'll have it preset for that. If you buy it for an airbox lid and a slip-on exhaust, we'll set it for that. If you buy it for the duals and an intake, we'll set it for that. Whatever you purchase it with, we will preset it. You can, if you decide to add parts later, change it. It is super easy to change. We have it all laid out in the instructions, but a lot of people are not comfortable hitting the buttons to select it. So if you purchase it from here, we will preset it for you. Okay, exhaust options. Alright, for the 2016 lineup, we added the Empire slip-on. And then we have the Barker duals and the Barker slip-on. Some of my other videos I shot, we talked about those, so we'll start with the Empire slip-on. This is an aluminum can, stainless mid-pipe, just like the other systems. Okay, this one you're going to have to assemble when it shows up. It has bolts and a gasket. You're going to have to orient the gasket or the mid-pipe here and put a little bit of Loctite on it when you have it in the right orientation. It uses the stock donut gasket just like the Barker slip-on. This one has a welded on hanger tab. It'll reuse the stock bolt to mount it. This will be the default color that it comes with. We can get it in other colors. That is not an upgrade on this system. It is standard pricing. Alright, then we'll go to, let's go to the Barker slip-on. This is an aluminum can, stainless mid-pipe, megaphone design. This one's going to come with new springs. I guess I didn't mention that. The Empire reuses the stock Yamaha springs. Same donut gasket gets reused. This one has a stainless hanger strap, an aluminum spacer that pushes it off from the frame. Different springs. Both of these slip-ons are identical in horsepower. You know, I've dynoed them on several different machines, and if you just showed me the dynos, I couldn't tell you which one was what. They lay right over top of each other. They have very similar sounds. They're both quality systems. They have a little different quiet core design, which I guess I'll have to show those in a different video because I don't have them laid out. Okay, and we'll go to the dual exhaust. So the 708 motor had the single port exhaust, just like the 1415 did when they changed it that year. I mean, it was a completely different motor. It went to a dual overhead cam. You would think everything else changed, but the exhaust ended up bolting up the same. We actually designed this exhaust for the 708 motor, and then it retrofitted and worked fine on the 1415. Really, all the horsepower stayed the same. The 708 motor is a stronger motor, stock to stock and modified to modified. You know, there is some flaws in the motor itself, but all in all, I really like the 708 package. I thought it was a good setup. In the 19 and newer setup, they ended up going back to the 1415 motor. So that was the 686. It's still the single exhaust port, rocker arm style cam, single cam. All of these systems, and four-wheeler 16 to 18, 19 and newer, they all have the AIS, especially on 19 and newers. I mean, just say any of them, they have that AIS. It is the air injection system. Okay, this is a factory emissions. On the machine, it bleeds off air from the airbox into the exhaust stream. In the factory can, there is a cat system. It is designed to heat up that cat. Okay, the exhaust gets super hot. I am not telling you to, but if on my own personal machines, I like to make sure the air doesn't get to these systems. So, you know, you might want to find a way, if you choose to, I'm not telling you to, block a factory emission component, but it will make all of these systems live much longer and reduce the EGTs if you can make sure that the factory emission system is not getting air into the exhaust stream. Okay, let's see. The duals have a machined aluminum hanger strap, new springs. It'll also come with some heat shielding to put on the back of the plastic. It gets sort of close to the plastic right here. All of these systems fit with all tire scenarios that I've tried. If you have some big negative offset rims and really wide tires, the duals will get rather close. So that's about the only thing I've ran into for fitment scenarios. If you have positive offset or the rim gets further away, you shouldn't have any scenario that it's going to be a fitment issue. All of these cans are aluminum. I don't really recommend them for the guys that are cruising around the mud all the time. Okay, if you are a religious mud rider, I may steer you towards a stainless can system. They will handle the heat better of these machines. You may not go as fast as these, but you might live a little longer. Okay, these are packing style cans. They're not designed to get wet. They can get wet, but they don't live as long. All these systems can run a quiet core. When you get the duals, you need 2 quiet cores. The quiet core that will fit the Barker does not fit the Empire. The Empire quiet core will not fit the Barker. There are 2 different part numbers on our website. Make sure you order correctly. And that's the parts and some explanation of what fits what. Thank you for checking them out.